Take you live now to Parliament. That's where the weekly post-cabinet briefing is taking place. Communications Minister Nomvula Mokonyane is briefing the media.
There was no report 2 weeks after the intervention. In fact, there was a close-out report led by the Department of Treasury, briefing the nation on what has been done after Limpopo was put there. So we will continue to update on developments and progress. A situational report will only be a report that helps us through the IMTT to make meaningful interventions. On the issues that have been raised around the amendment of the Criminal Procedure Act, in fact, it is not the current incidents. These incidents happened at a time when we were now responding and even borrowing from what has happened about more than 5-6 years ago, the Johannesburg South, the Gauteng South court judgment that exposed the gap in terms of our own laws, that we definitely have to deal with it. What it seeks to do is to also help the vulnerable who can't now, when they're abused, be in a position to speak for themselves, but upon them being independent and of age, can go out and say, my father raped me, or my neighbor raped me, or this happened, because at that time, even an adult, sometimes it may take you time before you break the silence, understanding where we're coming from as a nation. So it is that intervention, and it will then help the current developments, because now there will be a basis in terms of the law to prosecute for such crimes. And the thing around the handling of nuclear material, yes, it will require, even in the discussions in cabinet and cabinet committees, the issues were not just about investing in physical infrastructure. It was also about using advanced methods, use of advanced methods rather than absolute kind of solutions that were there in Pelindaba, and hence it was easy to break in and all those things. And adaptation as well to new technology, training and skill and reskilling of our human resource, including the disposal methods, how you handle them. So it is much more inclusive. In actual fact, it takes us to a much more advanced level of handling things, given even the history of Pelindaba, how old it has been, and all those things, and the fact that there will be a continuous presence of nuclear material for medical purposes, for research, and therefore we need to also advance, because the sensitivity is centered around what the old legislation, how the act was actually framed. And now the call is for us to now make sure that we invest and we allow space for restructuring, reorganization, reskilling, and better investment on new technologies. The state, the issues around state liability, we know. I think the best teacher is what has happened with the road accident fund, but also with what is happening. There will forever be that compensation. There will forever be that compensation. What this seeks to do is to make sure that the consequences and issues of liability must be to the benefit of the victim, the patient. Secondly, it must come in different packages and not in just one form. There may be interventions that may say, you shall now get medication to help you recover rather than just financial compensation. And secondly, you shall be assisted to be taken to a particular level so that then your health can actually be improved, other than just financial compensation and it being seen as a one-size-fits-all kind of a solution where monies are actually disposed, but not necessarily to the betterment of the patient's health. So it is that we're seeking to do. The deadline on the bills, these are the bills that in the time frames of Parliament, they've been put as those that were in the pipeline. So they are already in the pipeline. They will then fit into the parliamentary program. I know that there's already 17 that are in the NCOP, and these ones were already highlighted as those that are in the between Parliament and Cabinet. And once we have done this, they then get ticked in because already they are in the programming of this term of office. So they will not miss this term of office. They are already tagged for that particular, for this particular term, unless the delays would be on the consultations and the interest that come and the concerns that will come through public participation in the parliamentary processes or Parliament itself. On Israel, we support, Cabinet agrees with the Minister of International Relations, and of importance, the discussions are going far beyond just the downgrading. It's also about economic relations, not only with regard to what is of benefit today at the expense of the lives of the people of Palestine. So it is a package that is all-inclusive, that includes also the lives of the people of Palestine and a permanent solution in Palestine. And amongst other things, that downgrading, Minister Sisulu will be briefing Parliament in the next sitting on other measures that South Africa must consider, but also on how we are going to do our bit in the United Nations and with the international community, not just on the side of solidarity, but also on the serious interventions that we believe have to be taken to bring peace and stability and realization of the two states in terms of Palestine and Israel. And also the thing that is quite important to register is that we really mean it. We mean it because we've had a life experience of living under the same conditions. And downgrading of an embassy against saving lives, we need to say what is the best that we can sacrifice.
Thank you very much, Minister. I think we've come to the end of the briefing. Thabo?
Northwest.
In your reply, Minister, you mentioned Sun City. I don't know. What's the issue there? I don't understand. I mean, Sun City is, you know, it's...
The reason why, and I know why you're asking, the reason why I was citing it is that as the team is working there, things emerge. And this is one thing that is before the team, and the team has to go and look at it, the same as the selling of the game farms and all those kind of things. Anything that has been disposed which could have been in the best interest of the state and being an asset of the state.
I think you'll be the last one.
Also on Northwest, I just want to know...
Oh. No. You why? Go and Ubabalo will come after.
Why were the 10 provincial departments placed under administration under different sections of the Constitution? And so in other words, what is the difference between the two? Thanks.
Yes, in fact, it's a rider on Filder's question, specifically on the Office of the Premier. What is the issue in that specific?
Oh, there's another hand at the point.
It's also linked to that one, Minister. The Premier department is the one that the national government is taking full administration. I understand that the ANC will have the 3 names and appoint that person, but in practical terms, would you agree with me to say that he will probably become a lame duck premier, given that if we are putting it under full administration, then there should be an administrator from national. And that's why I was asking earlier, can you just give us a sense of, also given the sense that we don't know how long you're going to be placing this department under administration. Next year there's election, so what is he going to do?
Yes, when a department or sphere of government is put under administration, there is nowhere where it says you shall dissolve the provincial executive, which is the provincial cabinet. And there will be issues that the team that has gone there to intervene have to regularize matters with the political establishment there. And that's what has happened even with the Limpopo experience. So it would not be necessarily a lame duck, because what it means is that there shall be provincial executive council meetings.